Let's get one thing straight right now. If you are building a business just for money, you are going to burn out. But if you're building it for freedom, for control over your time, and for the kind of life that you actually want to be living, that's when you're going to win long term. I've built business that gives me the freedom to travel the world. I've just come back from a 2-week trip with my family in Vietnam. And we're having the best month that we've ever had in the business, and that's with a 2-week holiday, which is just crazy to me. So that's been a crazy experience for me, but that's where my business is now. Like, I choose my own hours. Obviously, I'm not saying I don't do any work. I do work loads, but that's because I love what I do. I choose and structure my day how I want it. And when you're in that position and you wake up actually excited for what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, that's when you're truly aligned with your purpose, and you can scale a business, and that financial side just comes as a byproduct. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you how you can do the same thing, build a business that gives you more than just income. It's going to give you a life that you're actually proud of. I know so many coaches that have successful coaching businesses, and that's in terms of financial side of things, but they don't enjoy what they do. They are absolutely exhausted. They're chained to their clients' check-ins. They dread their calendar. They don't enjoy what they do, and that's why they stay stuck. Because money is part of the equation, of course it is. But if you have money without time and without energy, without true purpose, that's just a fancy cage, guys. We want to break out of that and be living that life that you want to live. When I went through this myself, this is when I realized that if your business doesn't serve you as much as it serves your clients, then it's broken. You are the bottleneck of your business. If you are not operating from a high frequency and enjoying what you do and showing up with energy, your clients, but also your team. If you have team members like me, I've got 5 team members now, and if I'm not showing up to my best self and I don't have that good energy, then that's going to rub off on everyone. It's just going to bring the whole business down a level. We want to make sure we're showing up and enjoying what we do. So here's what you need to focus on instead. There's 3 things I want to run through today, and the first one is freedom. And I'd say this is like the core thing that I stand for, is freedom. In the fitness business, it's being free. For the clients that are going through their fat loss transformation, I want them to feel free, and that's why I started up that company. I want them to feel free. I want them to be living the life they want to, and I really think that starts off with your physique, that physical side. So that starts off with building the systems in terms of freedom for your business. It starts with systems. So you need to have the systems in place to make sure you are free and doing the things you want to do on a day-to-day basis. So whether that comes to automating, delegating things, you don't need to be the one doing everything. Obviously you do at the start, and you need to learn what the ins and outs are of your business. You don't just want to outsource something that you don't fully understand, because you need to be able to coach these people. But you want to structure your business in a way, obviously an online model is the perfect example of this, structuring it in a way where you can scale it and you're not the person doing everything. So like an in-person PT, for example, they are the person doing everything. It's not a scalable business model. They don't have that freedom. They're just stuck in person, whereas the online model, it's infinitely scalable and you have that freedom to work from anywhere. The next one is control. So you need to make sure you're setting your boundaries, whether that's within, like for yourself, with your own boundaries, with your work day, whether it's boundaries with clients, like when they can message you or like when they can expect a reply, boundaries for your team members, like what you're expecting with them. You need to set your boundaries. Everything depends on boundaries and expectations. So you need to set these, and if you have team members, they need to understand what the boundaries are and what the expectations are of them. They need to have clear targets. Your business should adapt to your life, not the other way around. Your life shouldn't have to adapt around your business. Your business wants to be built in a way where you love it and you love what you do every day, and it needs to mold around your life. And then the last thing is fulfillment. So we've got freedom, we've got control, and we've got fulfillment. So with the fulfillment side of things, you really need to stay close to your why. And just remember that if you are not lit up by your work and loving what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, everyone's going to feel it around you. Your team members are going to feel it. Your clients are going to feel it. You need to build your business intentionally. So obviously, I do think everyone needs to take the sales calls at the start. You can't have hardly any clients and be outsourcing the sales calls because you're not going to have the money for it. However, for me at the moment, I am in a position where we can be outsourcing the sales calls. We've done 30K dollars last month. And usually like mentors in the past have told me to wait until we get to like 50K or something like that to outsource the sales calls. But I've decided that I'm listening to my gut, listening to my feelings, and realizing that, you know, I'm happy to take that decision a little bit early, because I want to stay close to my why and be operating from that high frequency. It's not something I enjoy doing anymore. I've been doing them for a couple of years, and it's just getting a little bit repetitive for me, and it's not something I'm really enjoying, and I want to have more time to be able to talk about my business coaching that I've just started up with, and helping people that I mentor, and really scaling this second business and show up for my best self within my fitness coaching business. Make sure I am giving my best version of myself to my clients and not just showing up for them because I'm drained from sales calls. So that's something I've remembered recently, and I encourage you guys to do the same. Really think about your why and make sure you're building your business intentionally. So design your days, design your offers, like your actual coaching offer, and your day-to-day operations in a way that actually excites you, not drains you. Listen to your energy, write down the stuff you don't enjoy doing, and make sure you're building this in a way that excites you, because that's going to make it so much easier for you to progress moving forwards, because you're going to enjoy what you're doing. So if you are in the early stages right now of building your business, or maybe you haven't started up building your business, start asking yourself, like, what does your ideal life look like? And how can I build a business around that? So obviously, if you are in the early stages right now, and you don't have a coaching business at the moment, for example, I know you're not going to necessarily be able to, you know, design this too much, but think about that end goal and think about how you can get there. So there's steps along the way, obviously, that you're going to have to get involved with other areas of the business that maybe you're going to want to outsource, automate, delegate later on. But as long as there's a path there to be able to achieve that in the future, that's very important. You know, a lot of people, they might think, on the flip side of that, they might have their ideal life of traveling the world and doing all these things and having this massive impact, but then they'll start in-person coaching, and it's like, you know, that there's no path there. So you need to be realistic with this. Obviously, I'm not saying you can outsource everything and do no work. That's just stupid. But you need to have a path there to be able to achieve that and see that vision and be working towards that. Because these three things that we spoke about today, freedom, control, fulfillment, they don't happen by accident. They happen by design and making sure you are building things in a way that aligns with your vision. So just to recap, make sure you're not just chasing revenue. Make sure you are designing your business for giving you energy, time, purpose. Really important three things, especially purpose. As I said, that's something I've realized recently, that purpose. And that purpose for me is helping people level up their life, live that life of freedom and live their best possible life. And just focus on that self-improvement. And that's obviously started with the fitness coaching. And now with what I know about, you know, my business and how this has changed my life to have this life of freedom, now I want to give back to coaches and help them achieve what I've achieved, because I see so many coaches stuck, and I want to make sure that people are able to achieve this life and live by a life of freedom instead. So that's my real purpose now, and I've just aligned myself with that again, and realized that and started taking action on it. Started making these videos, started mentoring more people, and really focusing on that, because that's what gives me fulfillment. So that's my purpose, and now I am not just chasing the revenue. I've, you know, handed off the sales calls to my fitness business so I can design my business and design my time around giving more energy to those things that matter and aligning with that purpose. And just make sure you are creating space by building the systems, setting the boundaries, the expectations that we spoke about before, and really reconnecting to your why. So hopefully that has been helpful for you guys. And if you want to know how to actually build a 10K per month coaching business and really know how to actually do that yourself, I've documented everything I know and everything I've learned and exactly how I've done that in a video. I'm going to link it somewhere around the screen just so you can copy me step by step. So click the video somewhere around here. And other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next video. It's been an absolute pleasure.